Okay, we're filming okay now. What's going on? Happy New Year's. Well, a lot of you guys, it's by the time you're watching this, it's no longer New Year's. But I wanted to come outside for a little bit and just talk to you a little bit about something that I just felt like talking about today. This is a very impromptu video. I haven't really planned out an actual list of things that I wanted to talk about. Geese are going crazy over here. It's been really cold over here, so there's been a lot of ice over the water, and now that the water's starting to melt, the geese are kind of losing it. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. What do I want to talk about today? I just felt like coming outside and just turning my camera on and just speaking to you a little bit. What have I been up to? Well, it's now 2026. 2026. Oh my god, it's already a whole new year. 2026, whole another year, which means
that much closer to death.
But we're not gonna talk about that. What I really want to talk about is, as I'm recording this now, it's the 8th of January, I think. Yes, it's the 8th of January today. And on the 5th, today's Thursday. On the 5th, which was Monday, I went to my local Books A Million, and I actually had a list of books that I was meaning to check out, and it took me a while, but I finally narrowed down my search for what I wanted to get into, and then I ended up picking this book right here up. Oh my god! An Old Man, a Young Man, and Life's Greatest Lesson by Mitch Albom. Now, before I go any further on this, I'm not known for doing book reviews, but this book in particular, I really wanted to talk about it because even though, like I said, I'm not big on doing book reviews, I think every so often there's something that you come across in life, whether it's an experience through, you actually did it. Sometimes you watch a movie, sometimes you listen to a song, sometimes you see a painting, sometimes you listen to a poem, or whatever the case may be, whatever media it is that you absorb to get this spark. I'm not even that far in the book right now. I'm like, page 30 or something like that.
If you read this book, don't spoil it for me, okay? Don't spoil it. I like this book a lot.
Okay. I haven't gotten too far into the book, but I'm already in love with it, and I'll explain why. As you know, this channel, I primarily use it to express myself musically, and just sort of just talk to you and just tell you a little bit what's been on my mind, and we just talk about a lot of life things here on this channel. And while this book isn't necessarily talking per se about music, I feel a sense of attachment to this book already. I'm not, like I said, I'm not even that far in the book. I'm only 30 pages into this book, and I gotta keep going. What's the thing that people say when they don't want to spoil it? Spoiler alert? Yeah, spoiler alert. Come on, I have to act like I'm a human and I've been on this earth for 30 years already, From the brief time that I've already spent reading this book, I've already been really inspired to take ideas from here and incorporate it into some music that I'm currently working on. From reading this book, instantly from page 1, once I got started reading this book, I already got a sense of I'm kind of taking a break from reality a little bit. And I think this might be the case for a lot of you guys that are chronic readers out there, where when you open up a book that's really good, you just kind of feel a sense of detachment from reality. As soon as I opened it, they immediately started talking about this older gentleman, Morrie, and he was diagnosed with ALS, and it was a terminal illness. And he's an older gentleman, so he's probably been through some things, but the moment in which he was diagnosed with this terminal illness, his life began to change in a way that he started living a little bit more intentional. And he also was I think I need to get further in this book to really talk on this, but from what I got, he was very big on expressing himself physically and verbally to his students. He was a professor at a school in Massachusetts, and he was already a pretty loving person. He always expressed to his students either through hugs and even through the lessons that he would incorporate into his classes. I felt like reading this book, he was very intentional with the things he says and how he treated his students. And so much so that he ended up having one of his students, Mitch Albom. Mitch he wrote a song, or not wrote a song, he wrote his whole book about this man. And first of all, can we talk about how nice this cover is? Like, it's so simple. It's so nice. It's so nice. It's not gonna be a long read for me at all. I probably will get through this within a week if I really wanted to. I could probably finish this in like a day or two. But knowing myself, it'd probably take me about a week or two to actually get to this. Maybe I might make another video discussing how I liked it at the end. Who knows? What I felt from reading this book, I felt a sense of, like, it's like a temporary break from reality that I was getting. It felt like I was having a conversation with somebody that I don't even know, but it was familiar, if that makes any sense. I think the way the author expresses himself and the way that he describes the older gentleman with a terminal illness, Morrie, the way that he describes him is similar to how I feel I would describe several people in my life that I felt really close to. One of the things I really liked about this book is he doesn't spend a whole bunch of time creating fluff. He really makes use of the space on the pages that he has, and he doesn't go into too much detail about things that I might not particularly care about. I feel like every word on these pages mattered, and if one word had been missing, I probably wouldn't have gotten the same intensity. I wouldn't have gotten the same feelings that I had felt if he decided to just start scrapping words off the page. And I really, really love that. Making use of the limitations you have when you're doing something, whether it's art or a book or whatever it is the case, whatever the media is that you choose to entertain. Sometimes adding more onto it isn't always the best, and this book in particular makes good use of the limitations. When it comes to music, I think that it's really easy to think that the more sounds or the more plugins that you add onto a song, the better your song's going to come out. And in reality, it might just be a bunch of noise, and it might be a lot of destructive interference coming together that causes you to kind of really hate a song. Even though this book doesn't necessarily talk about music per se, I think there's a lot that you can take away from anything that you spend time with. If it's a book, if it's a movie, if it's a song, if it's a play, whatever, a poem, whatever the case is that you choose to entertain yourself with, I think there's always something that we can take from. Did I say that right? There's always something that we can take from every opportunity if we give ourselves enough time and space to really analyze and think about things. So I'm really taking my time with this book. I'm more, like I said, only on page 30. I've been highlighting a few key phrases and words that I don't know. But I think the words, every word on these pages matters. So much so that I really had to highlight quite a bit as I was going through this book, and there was a couple things that I wanted to remember, so I ended up writing about it. I ended up writing it down so I didn't forget the idea. In a way too, this book sort of feels like I'm reading a version of myself. What I mean by that is, it seems from how Mitch, the author, it seems to me how the way Mitch writes, he thinks a lot. Maybe he overthinks, I don't know. It seems to me like he thinks a lot about things for him to be able to construct a story with so much detail, but at the same time not a whole lot of detail. Like I said, it's starting to rain a little bit. Hopefully I'll wrap up this video soon. I don't want to talk too much here. He was able to effectively say everything that he wanted to say without overwhelming or saying too much. That's what I got from Mitch. And I think for the same idea, I also like to write, but I don't like to put too much of my own personal ideas or personal experiences into ideas, because I like to make them general enough to where everyone can sort of relate to what it is I'm talking about. So my book is getting wet a little bit, so I might have to go inside in a little bit, but before I do, I kind of want to just finish up this video. So let's wrap this up, Kwesi. like I said, I don't usually do book reviews, but if you are curious enough to see more about the story, the author's name is Mitch Albom, and he wrote Tuesdays with Morrie. And I really look forward to reading the rest of this book and hopefully getting something out of it that I plan to incorporate into my own personal projects moving forward. Hopefully I don't keep stuttering. Oh my gosh, I can't stop. Hopefully you're enjoying your January 2026. Hopefully your year has been off to a good start, and if not, that's okay. You still have plenty of 11 months left to go. It's still really early in the year to kind of decide for a lot of us what we want our New Year's resolution to be. So if you don't know yet, or if you're not trying to create a New Year's resolution for whatever reason, maybe it's too much pressure or whatever the case may be, no, don't worry about it. 2026, I'm still working on what it is I want I'm still working on what it is that I want my 2026 to look like. 2025 was me trying to be a better advocate for myself and for people around me. 2024 was me trying a bunch of things that I would never ever think of trying. A lot of things that I did for the first time that I never thought I would do in 2024, I did. And I want to keep doing those things from 2025 into 2026, but adding more onto the mix. So who knows what 2026 has to offer, but I look forward to figuring that out for myself, and maybe I'll share with you. And you could share with me what it is that your 2026 resolution is as well. Yeah, it's getting rainy, so I'm gonna have to go inside. But hopefully you are having a great day, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you very soon. All right, adios. Time to go inside. Oop, don't trip on the chairs. Don't do that. Don't do that. If y'all want to look at the geese, y'all probably can't see the geese, but they're over there. Yeah, they've been going kind of crazy over there. But the ice is melting, and now there's water, and they've been having too much of a good time over there. So I don't even know if their quacking or whatever noise that they make is going to be picked up in this video. But if it is, that's okay.